A family found a lost bear cub on the road during a road trip. But when they tried to help it, what happened next will truly surprise you. The roads of Yellowstone National Park are full of beauty, mystery, and sometimes surprises no one expects. On a bright summer morning, a small family set out on a road trip through the park's winding highways. There was Michael, the father, in his early 40s. Beside him sat his wife, Sarah, and in the back seat their 15-year-old daughter, Emily. Together, they were chasing adventure, making memories, and enjoying the open road. But halfway through their journey, something unusual appeared on the road ahead. Michael slowed the car, his eyes narrowing. Right there in the middle of the road sat a tiny creature. It was no bigger than a small dog with trembling legs and soft brown fur. A bear cub, barely 5 months old, lost, scared, and alone. The family looked at each other in shock. Emily gasped, "Dad, it's just a baby." Sarah's voice wavered with worry. If the cub was here, where was its mother? Michael carefully pulled over. After waiting and scanning the forest edges, it became clear. No mother bear was nearby. Against all instincts of caution, their hearts won over. They stepped out. The cub was trembling in fear, clearly lost from its mother, and looked terrified. Slowly, it inched toward Michael. Gently, he scooped the little cub into his arms and carried it back into the car. For the rest of the trip, the bear stayed with them, quiet, shy, and clumsy. Emily giggled as it tried to climb into the back seat, curling beside her like a puppy. The family fed it small bits of fruit and milk, keeping it warm during the night in their cabin. They didn't know exactly what they had stumbled into, only that this fragile life now depended on them. When they returned home, they gave food to their new little guest. 2 days later, a breaking news report appeared on TV. On that same Yellowstone highway, a female bear had been struck by a truck. 2 days ago, the mother bear was gone. Michael and Sarah exchanged a heavy glance, and suddenly, everything made sense. The cub had been waiting for a mother who would never return. They looked at the little bear sitting in their living room. His wide, dark eyes blinked up at them, innocent and trusting. In that moment, the decision was unspoken, but clear. This cub wasn't just a guest anymore. He was family. They named him Rusty, after the reddish tint in his fur. And from that day on, Rusty grew up in their home. Day by day, this little member became very close to the family. Emily especially formed a bond with him, playing in the backyard, racing down the grass, and laughing every time Rusty tumbled over his own paws. Their home was filled with happy cries and laughter. For Sarah, he became like a second child. For Michael, a companion on quiet evenings. And for Emily, a best friend unlike any other. Raising a wild animal wasn't easy. Rusty was curious, mischievous, and sometimes a handful. But he was also gentle, playful, and full of life. Every day reminded them of that chance encounter on the road and the mother he had lost. Together, they gave him what every family gives: love, safety, and belonging. As the years passed, Rusty grew stronger. He was no longer the little cub they had rescued. Michael and Sarah often went hiking with him, and their friends were shocked to see this giant but lovable creature walking by their side. Rusty truly enjoyed his life with the family he now called his own. To this day, Rusty still lives with them. People all over social media are touched by his story, and many say it shows how a simple act of kindness can transform even a wild animal into a gentle soul. Rusty still sees Sarah as his mom, and the only family he's ever known. In Yellowstone, stories of the wild often end in tragedy. But for this one little bear, fate took a different path. And for Michael, Sarah, and Emily, a simple road trip turned into a lifelong bond they never imagined. Well, what do you think about this heartwarming story? Tell us in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more stories like this.